Hey everyone, it's the Cool Teacher Mom. And I'm back for another tip. And this week we're talking about basic information. And what do I mean by basic information? I'm talking about learning their full name, learning their address, their age, birthday, parent's name, and phone number. So, how do we teach our children our basic information? If you saw my first video, you would ask them the question and then have them repeat the answer. So pretty much it's a call and response. But again, this is important, one, because if they get lost, they would need to know your name, your phone number, where they live if they needed to talk to the police. So those are important information also when they go to school. If the school doesn't have access at that moment, if they're outside and the teacher has a cell phone and they need to call, and your child needs to know your name and your phone number. So basic information is very important. But knowing their name. Now nicknames are great, but knowing their full name is very important. And I'll share with you a quick story. A few years back on the first day of school, we had a student who only knew his nickname. And so of course it's the first day of school. The office is crowded with paperwork of at least 50 to 100 students, and he was dropped off, unfortunately, so there was no parent with him. And so he told us that his name was Bam Bam. So the only reason why we found out who he was because of the enrollment sheet. When we looked at nicknames, which they are not required to put the nickname on the enrollment form, but this parent in particular did, and we found out what his real name was. So again, nicknames are great, but let's try to encourage our children to know their birth names that they are given, because that's very important, especially in emergency situations. And knowing their age and showing them the fingers. If they're 6, make them hold up 6 fingers. If they're 3, hold up 3 fingers. If they're 1, hold up 1 finger. But that is very important. Knowing your name or their grandparents, all that information is very important. Basic information in teaching your child for emergency purposes. So the next thing I want to share is 4 basic things that your child should know when entering pre-K or school or Head Start or wherever they're going. These are things that they should learn at home. 1, because this will give them a head start when they are at school, and the teacher can start where they are. So if they already know these basic things, they're already, again, ahead of the game, and it will definitely help them be successful in school. So the first thing is colors. Knowing the basic 8 colors, which would include red, yellow, green, blue, orange, black, purple, and white. So just learning the basic 8 colors are very important before they get to school. Next are the shapes. With the shapes, just learning the 4 basic shapes. If you want to go further, you can. I use this with both of my children. They're 10 and 6 now, so you can imagine, you know how old this is. But I use this with my children, and they of course had to match the shape, and this worked really well with them, and they learned all of the shapes by the time they were 2. One was 1 and 1 was 2, and they were able to do this successfully at that age. So again, I encourage early teaching your children their shapes, their colors. Another thing is being able to count to 10. I know you may think that that's not a lot, but it is for our little people. And so just having them count and using their fingers to count, that's very important. The number correlation with the fingers, because some children, it may take them a little longer to get it. So knowing how to count to 10 and using their fingers to count to 10 will be a very important skill for them to learn before they get to school, again, to kind of put them ahead. And then knowing how to spell their name. Teaching them, if they have a long name, teaching them 3 or 4 letters at a time until they get it. Again, that's very important. 1, knowing their name and then spelling their name. If they already know how to spell it, it'll be a breeze for them to learn how to write it. So just those 4 things, again, teaching your child before they get to school to just put them ahead and to ensure that they will be successful in school. So again, those 4 things are learning their colors, shapes, counting to 10 and learning how to spell their name. Now I know you say, well, now what are they going to school for? That's the teacher's job. Learning these basic things and even just working with your child at home, whether they're a toddler, whether they're in pre-K, whether they're in third grade or older, working with them at home will definitely build their confidence. Sometimes when children are not confident, they may act out. They may lash out, they may not pay attention or have trouble focusing because maybe they're embarrassed that they don't know some of the things that their classmates may know. So again, just working with your child at home before they get to school, and if they're already in school, whatever subject matter that they're struggling in, just work with them at home to help them build their confidence so that they may be successful and experience great academic achievement. So what are some things that you learned as a child? What are some things that your parent worked with you on before you even got to school? I remember my parents teaching me my shapes, my colors, how to spell my name, and those things that I discussed in the video. So I want to hear from you. Share what you remember learning as a child. Comment below. You can also follow me on Instagram, The Cool Teacher Mom, also on Twitter at The Cool Teacher Mom. So go ahead and again comment below, and I read all the comments and I will respond. So thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye bye.